So the other day, Neatcode posted a video where he talked about how he had quit working at Amazon after 2 months. Now, the video highlights a bit of his backstory where he talked about going to university with the goal of trying to get his degree and get a high paying job so that he could help support his family. It's really honorable. That being said, what happened when he got his, I suppose, dream job or ideal job at Amazon was that he had a horrible experience. During his time working there, he described it as having anxiety and felt as though he wasn't able to really accomplish anything. And ultimately, that led to him wanting to leave that environment. The unfortunate thing, though, was that that feeling of anxiety and not being able to be productive or code, it stayed with him when he left the job, and it continued to persist. And that led to his downward spiral, where he describes how he relied on the use of drugs to help him deal with his feelings. Now, the interesting thing about this story is not the downward spiral or the fact that he quit from Amazon, although that may be the title. For me, the thing that hit and really resonated and why I wanted to talk about this was that he made a comeback. And his comeback story was the part that was really interesting and why he was able to make a comeback, or at least what he attributed to it. With all of his doubt and anxiety, the one thing that he resolved himself to do was to try and be consistent. And it was not to be consistent in staying off of the drugs or to try and do something that was more outward or external. Rather, it was just to try and complete one task, accomplish something during the day, each day. And that was to solve one LeetCode problem, one coding problem. And through that process of trying to consistently do that, he ended up building himself back up. He ended up getting a job at Google. And now he has this huge YouTube channel, which obviously I'm subscribed to and I really enjoy. And I recommend you check out as well. And the reason why it resonated with me personally was that I'm on that consistency journey myself, right? As you could see here, this post, 2 years done. But that was actually a year ago. So now I'm over 3 years that I've been working on this 100 Days of Code challenge, where basically it was a challenge that I believe was started on Twitter. But the idea is that you code for at least 1 hour a day, working on some sort of project, and you share what you've worked on each day for at least 100 days. And when I first started it, to try and be consistent for 100 days was really difficult for me. I failed a couple of times just to get to the first round, the first 100 days. But after I got to the first 100, I didn't want to stop. I wanted to see what could come of me being consistent, because the reality is I've had those dark feelings. I can't say I've had the same feelings that Neatcode had, but I've had those feelings of doubt, the imposter syndrome, the uncertainty, the questions, perhaps feeling inferior, comparing yourself to others, public figures, etc., etc. And the way that I've had to combat that was just put all of that to the side. Maybe I do suck. Maybe you're not the best. Maybe there are things that other people know that you don't know. Maybe you're not made out for this. However, put all of that to the side and just try to focus on putting in effort, because ultimately I can't control the outcome. I don't know what's over the horizon, right? None of us do. If we did, a lot of our problems would be solved. But what we can do is try to be consistent in the amount of effort we put in towards solving our goals. At the end of the day, we don't know what happens tomorrow, but we have some semblance of control of what we do today. And so that was my goal. Just keep working. Just keep trying to improve. Whatever shortcomings you have, keep at it. It's okay. It'll get better. And as I've seen with Neatcode, through this story, you could tell that when you take these small steps, you end up in big places. You just have to keep taking those small steps continuously. So if any of you are in doubt, or if any of you come across this video, I really hope that this sits with you. You know, it's not about doing these big significant things. It's about doing the small things. And surprisingly, you'll find that those significant accomplishments end up happening as a result of those small steps that you did every single day. Progress is boring, right? Accomplishments are exciting, but you don't get the big accomplishments unless you do the boring stuff. And so just have patience, just keep at it. And I'm right there with you. You know, the journey hasn't stopped. Even though I have stopped sharing my 100 days of code after the 3-year mark, the reason being is that I wanted to try and work on other projects and share those and have those be the focus of my social media content as opposed to just my daily coding. Basically, having accomplished 3 years of consistently coding every day, I mean, give or take a few days, right? Because I'll take a break in between each 100-day part. I won't really share that part. But the point is that having done that consistently, I wanted to try and level up. I wanted to try and do more rather than just keep doing the same thing. I want to take a bit bigger step when it comes to being consistent. What am I going to share with others? But I'm still working at it. I have a backlog in my database because I'll write things down in my notes and then I'll transfer it to input it into a database. That way, ultimately, I plan on making a website to share my progress and to put up the graphs, etc., so that you could see the trends and how, you know, I had days where I was more productive and days where I was not as productive. But the fact that I hit that bare minimum, that's the important part. So an example here you could see, right? We got a lot of entries, but yeah, it's something that I'm really proud of, and obviously I'm gonna keep it to myself for now. But yeah, as you can see, you know, I have about 2 months plus of notes that I need to transfer into the database, and it's just because I'll write down what I did, but entering into the database is not the I haven't built the UI. It's not the most streamlined process, so it's a manual um, typing process. But anyways, I'm digressing. Long story short, stay consistent. You know, for me, that's something that's really helped me in my coding journey, and I'm going to try and keep at it. But yeah, it's those small steps really makes a difference. But yeah, if you like this, if you want to see some of my reviews or tutorial videos, like, comment, subscribe. Really appreciate it. And until next time, take care. Peace.